get a lot of key buyers from Africa over the years to Automechanika Dubai, and they've been increasing in a very, very strong way. So we wanted to learn more about the African market. And of course, your interaction, your questions are most appreciated. We do have very valuable speakers today. The first is His Excellency Mohammed Gallo. He is the ambassador of the Republic of Kenya to UAE. And then we have Mr. Adel Al-Zaruni. He is the Senior Vice President of Sales from Jebel Ali Free Zone Authority. And we have Mr. Navid Hassan. He is Associate Editor of Business Guide Africa. So he represents let's say, the media side of Africa. So thanks a lot, Mr. Navid.
Ladies and gentlemen, Africa is a dynamic market, just waiting to be explored in more detail by local and global organizations alike. Although plenty of attention has been paid to the challenges of operating effectively in Africa, the real story is about the upside. The continent's potential is undisputed, not only in light of abundant resources and fast-growing market opportunities, but in terms of its integration into the global business community. In May 2000, the front page of The Economist magazine, you know it very well, a very reputable magazine. And I want to suggest to you, please read that article. The Economist ran the words, "the hopeless continent." That was in 2000, and I'm sure quite a few of you may have read about it. Above an image of an anonymous black man holding a weapon crop in the shape of African map. It described Africa as a continent ravaged with war, famine, floods, corruption, disease like HIV/AIDS, and malaria. Interestingly, more than a decade later, actually it was in December 3rd, 2011, issue of The Economist magazine, in which its front page cover page titled "Africa Rising Greatly Regretted Calling Africa a Hopeless Continent." In other words, there was a complete about turn in 2011. It is therefore important to note that over the past decade, 6 of the world's fastest growing countries were in Africa. In 8 of the past 10 years, Africa has grown faster than East Asia, which is the fastest growing region, including Japan. Even allowing for the knock-on effect of the Northern Hemisphere's slowdown, the IMF expects Africa to grow by between 5.5 to 6% this year and nearly 7% in 2014. According to Standard Bank, around 60 million Africans have an income of about $3,000 a year. This is expected to rise to 100 million in 2015. That is 40 million who are going to buy cars, require spare parts and all that. So I see that graph continuing to go up because every year we'll be increasing the number of Africans who will be joining the middle class bracket, and therefore one of the priorities usually is for you to own a car.
The beautiful thing about my job is that I meet a lot of people every day, and I can only guess where do they come from and which sector they function in. And I actually have to sound as if I actually know where they come from and know their sector very well. So today, you will hear me speaking as if I was born in a car and raised with tires. But in reality, I've only got my statistics yesterday, so I've got to speak about that. Initially, allow me to speak about Dubai and the spirit behind it. We have in Dubai, out of the wisdom of the ruling family, more than 100 years ago, a decision was taken that how about Dubai beats a port in a nearby country. That port was the most thriving port at that era. We became an excellent hub. We would like to stay as an excellent hub by understanding the needs of our customers, that are people coming from all around the world, wanting to penetrate markets that we support. And the markets we support are obviously the nearby regions, namely Middle East, Central Asia and Africa, and hopefully beyond. When it comes to the industry, the automotive industry, allow me to give few numbers. On the automotive industry in total, Dubai, as the figures say, do around 37 billion dirhams in trade. Jebel Ali takes 10 billion of that, with around 430 companies out of the 7,100 companies I mentioned. Beg your pardon, it's 530 companies out of the 7,100 companies are related to the automotive industry. And we are growing steadily. Cars that get sold towards Africa through our Dubai Auto Zone, which is also under our management. Of last year, 2012, the figure was 70,000 cars going to Africa, mainly through Kenya and Tanzania, and of course additional destinations. All of that said, I would like to just thank His Excellency for his speech, and thank Automechanika team for inviting us and allowing us to speak in here, and I'll have more to share at the Q&A session, and thank you very much.
Your presence here is testimony that you have an interest in developing new markets worldwide, and in Africa in particular, as this event focuses on the African continent. As you all might know, Africa is one of the fastest growing markets for automobile spare parts and is considered to hold immense business opportunities in the coming years. Yet most people think of Africa as a risky market. Yes, Africa is a tricky market, and getting a foothold in African markets is not as easy as it sounds. Problems exist. Low purchasing power of the average consumer, trade barriers, high import duties, and the challenge of making your mark in the African countries have made any suppliers rethink their plans of entering the African markets. On the other hand, many see an opportunity where others see a challenge. Africa is really an emerging market, especially for Dubai. Against the backdrop of the current global economic downturn, many multinational companies are now realizing the importance of the African market and its potential in the coming years, and are now eager to penetrate these markets through proper distribution and marketing channels. However, finding the right customers in the African market can be a time-consuming process. Being such a large continent with as many as 54 countries, South Sudan being the latest one just added, marketing one's products and services in African markets is indeed a challenging task. However, for a successful marketing effort, it is imperative to identify and associate with reliable and efficient business partners in key African countries. There are a number of ways to go about identifying potential trade partners in Africa. A good starting point is via an organization that specializes in marketing and business promotion in the African markets. Such organizations have not only the necessary experience and expertise, but also the right contacts to help you in your marketing efforts.